Oh, is it true that they paid you $1 million for the endorsement for Kamala?
Not true.
Not true, okay.
Trump said he will be investigating the Queen Bee. That's right, Beyonce. Now, I don't want the Beehive coming for me, okay? I just report the news. I don't make it. But this is what happened.
What does President Trump mean when he says that Taylor Swift is no longer hot?
Look, he is speaking about Taylor Swift's political views and how perhaps it has impacted the support of the American public for her work, and I will leave it at that. Annie, go ahead.
Yes, Libras are melting down on social media like never before after this tweet. Trump sent this out few days ago. How much did Kamala Harris pay Bruce for his poor performance during her campaign for president? Why did he accept that money if he is such a fan of hers? Isn't that a measure and illegal campaign contributions? What about Beyonce? And how much went to Oprah and Bono? I am going to call for a major investigation into this matter. Candidates aren't allowed to pay for endorsement, which is what Kamala did under the guise of paying for entertainment. In addition, this was a very expensive and desperate effort to artificially build up her sparse crowd. It's not legal for these unpatriotic entertainers. This was just a corrupt and unlawful way to capitalize on a broken system. Thank you for your attention to this matter.
Beehive, where are you? We need you. Hello, my friend. It is Perez, the queen of all media, the original influencer, and apprentice alum Donald Trump has come for Beyonce. And Oprah, too. Remember just a few days ago, and was beefing with Taylor Swift and Bruce Springsteen? Well, he's at it again. The Trump University founder took to his social media platform, Truth Social, and shared the following today. How much did Kamala Harris pay Bruce Springsteen for his poor performance? Yeah, hella broken. How else do you think Elon Musk was able to pump so much of his money into your campaign? Through a political action committee. Don wraps up his platitude today saying, thank you for your attention to this matter. Newsflash. The Federal Elections Commission is a government agency. You know who's the head of the government? Donald Trump. He has access to all of their findings and reports and information. The Federal Elections Commission's most recent records do not show that they paid Beyonce for appearing at the rally. And Oprah was not paid. And Bruce Springsteen was not paid. He is flooding the field, as they say. That's the term, right? Steve Bannon admitted to this recently. Oversaturate, distract, oversaturate, distract. It's a game tactic. And hey, nobody's asking how much you paid Amber Rose to speak at the RNC. She probably paid you. Thoughts? Let's discuss it all in the comment section.
I do think there's something to be said about going outside of this country and speaking about this country and its present administration that way. Let other people say that. But you, being an entertainer, going across the world, going across the ocean, wherever Bruce Springsteen was, and I forget for the moment where he was, and speaking
that won't bow down to their ideological demands.
Yes, Trump is not crazy to say this. Yes. I've seen reliable sources like these people took money. In the case of Oprah, she actually responded to that few months ago. Like, she took money and he went into the department to set up the studio, to do this, to do that. That was the story I heard. Now looking into what is going on, and Libras are melting down about the whole situation, clearly tells me one thing. They're panicking. Yes. Talking about Amber Rose, there was nothing. Elon Musk, yeah, you can have a super PAC like that. Joyce Soro and others have been using the same method for a very long time. People like these will not do segment to talk about it. In this case of entertainers receiving money, that is a total different situation.
Let other people say that. But you, being an entertainer, going across the world, going across the ocean, wherever Bruce Springsteen was, and I forget for the moment where he was, and speaking against the president of the United States that way is problematic. Perfect. To give you a hypothetical, Stephen A. Smith has been outspoken, but if I'm overseas in France, Europe, Switzerland, or wherever, or Germany or someplace, I'm not going to be sitting in a foreign country talking about my president that way. Even if I didn't vote for him, he's still a president of the United States. And I'm not going to go someplace else speaking about him that way. I might touch on the issues. And I'm not saying you can't disagree with him. I'm not saying that you don't like a policy or an abundance of policies. Well, I don't like the tariff. You can say I don't like the tariffs. You can say I don't like what's going on with the war. You can say I don't like the state of our economy. You don't say I don't like the state of our politics. But when you say corrupt, inept, and stuff like that on foreign soil, I don't have a problem with the president having a problem with that. There's a time and place for every truth. Michael, Aaron, Sherry. There's a time and a place. We're not debating truth or falsehood here. We're saying if you are an American, if you're about the red, white, and blue, there's certain places you don't go and speak that way. There's a time and place for everything. Bruce Springsteen knows that better than anybody. Every truth ain't meant to be told at every single time. There's certain things you don't do.
I'm going to tell y'all right now, your president is certified crazy. And just know, when somebody accuses you of doing something, they are the ones that did it. Look at this tweet he posted today. Third he had overseas. Look at the video.
The America I've written about, that has been a beacon of hope and liberty for 250 years, is currently in the hands of a corrupt, incompetent, and treasonous administration, their right to free speech and voicing their dissent. This is happening now. In America, the richest men are taking satisfaction and abandoning the world's poorest children.
Yes, he went on stage to do this, thinking it was a good idea. Trump is your president, get over that. Yes, be comfortable with it, even if you don't like that. He said a lot of ridiculous things. Trump responded. The whole media was on fire. And from all investigations, like the tweet he put out there, like these people received this amount of money. It is true. Yes. I don't know why Libras, Beyonce fans, and Taylor Swift fans are all melting down about this whole thing. They all did that. This is not a first clip I'm doing about this thing. I reported a series of clips some few months ago about it, and look at it now. Sometimes I don't want to talk about these celebrities because I get offended sometimes looking at what they do. This guy thought this was a good idea, going in a foreign country, doing this to the president. He's going to find out soon, right? Someone complained to me, like they always see some short videos after my clips. That is for the YouTube algorithm. These people don't want to recommend my channel, so I'm using all possible means so they can recommend the videos. So please, you can stop at a certain point. You must not watch that every time I post.
Hey Oprah, good morning. How are you, darling? You looking very good. How do you think the election went?
Not talking about the election. Thank you very much.
Oh, is it true that they paid you $1 million for the endorsement for Kamala?
Not true.
Not true, okay.
I was paid nothing, ever.
What do you think about all the celebrities with their mass exodus?
I'm not talking about
Do you think Prince Harry's gonna lose his visa now that Trump's president?
Don't.
The celeb crowd, we touched on this yesterday. Beyonce, loser. Oprah, huge loser. J-Lo, you matter. Loser. No one cares what you think. I just think we're so lucky to have someone like that willing to touch government with a 10-foot pole. It's not like Taylor Swift. She got booed at the Super Bowl because
You've seen how Swifties are melting down. Trump is. Thank you guys for always being there, sharing out my videos. God bless you abundantly. Really.
What did you make of Donald Trump's post this morning alleging that since I said I hate Taylor Swift, this guy, all the deals, but he still has time for this. You gotta love it. Since I said I hate, she's no longer hot.
I don't want to make the video long. I will end here.
Justice will prevail.
It also shouldn't be racial.
Require Carmelo to run. He had
100.
Has been overwhelming. The lies in their amplification.
This is not going to end. Right is right and wrong is wrong. All good.
If you see any clips after this, that is just for the YouTube algorithm.
What if he says self-defense?
There's no self-defense because kids in here and resolve this issue is called conflict resolution.
Again, the evidence is still coming in.
This is definitely a self-defense case because it always is one until you look at the
Followers for anything, and then the
Registration Act is
talking about this man, Killmonger.
My summary of the first 100 days is that
if film and TV productions continue to
First term, and you will be very...
once again, the field was littered with Wintour does every year. This Carmelo Anthony case.
live in the White House. Many people
Like a little unhinged drunk.
And black people don't want to live around ratchet McGee heads.
in 2012 he